All right, it's no big secret, St. Johns County is blowing up. It's one of the most preferred places to move here in Florida. We're in Northeast Florida, St. Johns County, and with massive growth and development, what follows? Of course, major road systems. And today we're talking about the First Coast Highway, a toll road that will be connecting I-95 all the way to I-10, which is going to relieve a lot of traffic, and there's a lot of pros and cons to this. But today we're starting here on the south end of Shearwater Master Plan Community and the Trout Creek Academy, and we're going to follow this new construction of this highway and show you where it actually crosses through and what communities and what developments. So we're starting here on 16A. We're going to cut through Silverleaf, and we're going to head all the way into Silverleaf Village, and you're going to get a good overview with our drone and on the ground of which communities this massive highway is going to be passing right by. So here you have the white walls, the circumference, Newbrook, Toll Brothers community here in Silverleaf, the master plan community in St. Johns County. And behind me, we are on the north side of Newbrook. And if you look behind me, we have a retention pond and preserve. And on the other side of this preserve is where the First Coast Highway is being constructed. Now, relatively speaking, just from observing where this highway is coming through in proximity, it's not close to high-end real estate, and that's for good reasons, right? So in Newbrook, the highway is most closest to their Towns collection, which is their townhomes, and the give or take distance from the highway to these townhomes is about 0.4 miles or half a mile, if you will, with again the retention pond and preserve behind me as a buffer. So that is the distance you'll find here in Newbrook. On the west side, on the spruce collection, it's at least a couple miles, so it's not as affected as much. Spruce collection being their bigger lots, higher end product, much closer to the townhome collection, and the Towns collection is down here. So we'll continue to follow this track and show you what other neighborhoods this highway is in close proximity to. So now I'm in Brook Forest, which is a Dreamfinders community that is building duplexes, townhomes, single-family homes on 40 and 50-foot lots. And behind me here is the duplex, or the townhomes that they're building, and right behind them is the construction of the First Coast Highway. Again, this is just a few hundred yards away, and this construction appears like their highway is going to go above here behind me over Silver Lake Drive and cross over to the St. John's Parkway. So again, another situation where the closest proximity in this Brook Forest community are the townhomes for sure. And just like Newbrook, this is on the other side, north of Newbrook, they have their townhome collection that literally is just a few hundred yards away from the construction of the new First Coast Highway. All right, so we're now in Evergreen Island here in Silverleaf. This is a David Weekley community, and in the far back on the cul-de-sac, there is very close proximity to the First Coast Highway. Evergreen Island is a gated community. As far as I know, there's 40-foot lots and houses range from 1,600 to just around 2,700 or less square feet. But as you can see here, it's pretty visually obvious in how close proximity is to the highway. I am told in the community they are going to have a big retention pond with the fountains, which will certainly improve. A lot of the home sites do have a little bit of a buffer, as you can see here behind me. On the further section near the front of the community, have a little bit of a buffer, and then of course that fountain they're creating with a little island with fountains will probably hopefully offset some of the sound as well, but again, pretty close proximity in this particular parts of this neighborhood. And again, if you're looking for a deal, these are options for you based on the proximity and closeness to the highway. I can imagine you would get a better deal on a home like this. You may be indifferent depending on where you're moving from. On the other side of Evergreen Island is a D.R. Horton community, and I'll go ahead and show you that next. All right, we're now in Waterford Lakes, which is a D.R. Horton community, again, townhomes, and it is literally the back end of the community where, again, you can see sites of construction going on with the First Coast Highway. On the other side of the First Coast Highway is where I just came from, Evergreen Island. So this is a different angle here. And this community was built up and sold out a few years ago. Waterford Lakes, a D.R. Horton community here in Silverleaf. So here we are in Silverleaf Village, and we are in the, I guess, the northwest section of the Silverleaf Village, and in the distance you can see the smoke of the trees being cleared. What was once lake to preserve lots is now construction for the First Coast Highway, where it crosses over the St. John's Parkway. So all those trees, hopefully there'll be somewhat of a buffer remaining. Otherwise, I imagine the highway will be built going across St. John's Parkway, and it will continue through a few other communities as well towards I-95. Let's go see how those ones are affected in the proximity to those as well. And here we are at Meadow Ridge, a Dreamfinders community, which is essentially located just north of Silverleaf off of 210 next to I-95. And essentially the First Coast Highway will connect here at I-95 just literally east of this community. So a lot of the homes that you'll see here behind me, they have preserved. They were built in 21 to 23. They have preserved now. Hopefully they'll be able to maintain some of that preserve, but essentially First Coast Highway will be running behind this community in the far back to connect to I-95. Not sure if you can hear that, but you can already kind of hear 95 already here established in the back of this community. So adding the First Coast Highway, I'm not sure it's going to make a huge difference, maybe visually, but sound-wise you can hear a little bit of traffic from I-95. And those are all the variables that you have to consider when you're looking at purchasing a resale or building new construction. All right, folks, I hope you enjoyed that visual of the development of the First Coast Highway, particularly here in St. Johns County. We did do another video where we go more into detail, the pros and cons regarding the First Coast Highway. It is called the First Coast Highway Update. How will this affect Jacksonville traffic? It's certainly going to relieve a lot of traffic issues in the St. Augustine, the St. Johns, and the Duval section of Northeast Florida. Now, if you're thinking about moving the area, you can call me, text me, or email me. If you're looking for someone knowledgeable and trustworthy, I'm certainly here to help. It's never too early, whether you're thinking about it in 9 days, 90 days, or 180 days. My information will be in the description and pinned to the comments. And of course, if you want a true evaluation of what your property is worth in today's market and the absolute necessary marketing plan to get your home sold, again, text, call, or email. And if you want to learn more about this First Coast Highway, check out this next video, and I'll see you there.